Okay, Knight Rider fans, today I've got a job in where I'm fitting an audio on demand system to an 82 Pontiac Trans Am. This is being built in Australia as a KITT replica from the TV show Knight Rider. The system that I'm building into it is a 16 channel audio system with 16 separate audio samples. The audio on demand system consists of a brain effectively that's got two digital message announce units in it with a remote control 8-channel relay system and a button control panel with lots of lights and buttons and so on. The system also has a motion activated component to it where motion sensed around the front of the vehicle will trigger one of 8 audio samples that are pre-selected from the control panel in the interior. The other 8 channels will be selected from buttons that are going to be on this center console panel just here. As I've only just started building the project, I've not yet pulled that panel apart. I've only just started taking apart the center console. So it's going to be interesting getting all the buttons onto that, because that I thought was a removable panel, but it turns out it's not. Okay, here's the brain of the unit, so to speak, with the various cables coming out of it that go off to the button panel, lights, switching, speakers, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be located in the rear luggage area. I found a nice little compartment down the side here. I was hoping to get it up under the dash, but it's just physically too big. Rightio, here's the inside of the control unit. I've had to open it up because I got the system built up and then had a couple of little problems. The problems were related to these two digital message players. The one on the left there is an Australian Monitor DMA1. It has a built-in 2-channel Class D 20-watt amplifier with an input, a mixer, and it's infinitely configurable. And a couple of the problems were related to software within that. The one on the right is an Alltronics digital message player, 8-channel player. It's a fairly basic unit. It's literally trigger inputs. It fires off that particular MP3 file, plays it to the output. Over here we've got 2 sets of relays. The one on the right is the RF receiver and relay group for the remote control system, and the group on the left there are the tied up with the motion activated system. So on the control panel there's a rotary switch. The close contact source from the motion sensor triggers each one of those relays via that switch. Right, here's the button panel in its raw state. It's just a piece of galvanized steel that I've cut and filed to shape. These are the pre-drill holes, so now going to go through and drill the correct sizes. Then I'll prime and paint it, and then start mounting the switches in it. Here's the completed control panel. It was a bit of work in building this up. I've cut a piece of sheet metal out of galvanized 1.5mm steel, drilled it up, then basically done an automotive spray paint job on it, etch primer, gloss black, and it's a wheel black so that it's quite tough, and a wheel clear coat, so it's quite a tough surface and should resist scratching. It's got that rotary button there is the input select from the PIR motion sensor. The 8 LEDs above that come on when the motion sensor is activated and indicates which input has been selected. The 8 red illuminated buttons are literally that. They're illuminated buttons, and they're a manual fire or trigger for the other 8 samples. It operates very simply. Switch it on. The way that it works.
Sensors detect the vehicle in question is armored with my protective shell. Michael, surely you're not planning to go nose to nose with that behemoth.
The way that it works is quite simple. There's this rotary control here, which selects one of 8 separate voice samples, and that is triggered. Those individual 8 are triggered by a motion sensor that's mounted in the nose of the car. So if I rotate this around to...
My sensors detect the vehicle in question is armored with my protective shell. Michael, surely you're not planning to go nose to nose with that behemoth. But when it comes to having fun, take my wife. Please, someone take my wife.
So they can be all selected individually.
The lights are on, but nobody's home. They spend $10 million building the car and forget the voice. Incredible.
So that triggers off those individually, or we can press any of these buttons.
Hi, my name is...
Pressing another one selects the next.
Michael, social gathering.
I lost my temper.
You are not the proper owners of this vehicle, so either you get out, or I will take the appropriate measures.
So there's 8 separate samples that can be triggered individually like that. The other method of triggering the system is the primary 8 is via this remote control. It's an RF remote with an extendable antenna, 8 buttons. It's actually got quite a range, so it can be triggered and set off the individual things.
Hi, my name is... Michael, social gathering places where...
I lost my temper. You may think I'm just a machine.
So that works quite well.
But I do have a feelings chip.
Okay, so here we are. The whole system's finished and installed. There's the closed up compartment that's got all the electronics and the rear speaker in it. The remote control that controls the triggering of all of the DMA1 or the primary voice module. And through in the center console there, we've got the control panel. So there we have the finished project. It works quite well. It was quite a bit of work. There's quite a bit of electronics in it. It took me roughly 2 days to actually install the equipment, and another probably full day to build the electronics and the modules and test the basic system. So it's come up quite well. It works really well, and I think it'll turn a few heads at some car shows. So that's it. It's one of our interesting projects.